So, Storyville, that's it.
No, I remember that.
Go on then.
The reason we started Storyville was because we were both completely pissed off. We were waiting around with people pushing buttons on computers.
Yeah. When we started it, when me and Lol, after the sort of tours, of 14 people on tour, and rehearsals were always, there was rehearsals were more technical than anything.
Come on, why don't you play? Well, that's your blatant fault.
The whole of the rehearsals weren't about getting into the song, it was about, making these things work.
I've got bits of gear going wrong all over the place, and he just came along and said, "Oh no, I've made this." And, oh, if you put this like this, it'll make like this. That was ooh, wee, bang, whoa.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's just fantastic.
And that was then saying, well, that's it, the song's going to last 5 minutes, and it's going to end here. Whereas, I like ad-libbing, and, it's like, well, you can't ad-lib because the thing's going to stop.
When I first joined So, I was quite green. I'd done a couple of professional tours, but I was still quite green. And I remember, things like, coming up for a solo, and I'd be standing there, and well, I'm going to hit that pedal, I'm going to hit that pedal, right? I'm going to look up, and I'm going to go across the stage that way, and here it comes, 1, 2, 3, and you grab the hand off the guitar, and I'd go, what the, and just let it go just a second before the solo started. It was just like, go on, make it up, go on. I'd be going, you complete bastard.
And that whole thing, which was quite a nice experience, but after a couple of years of that, I think when we came back, I think me and Lowell sat down and said, and it happened to coincide with me wanting to play acoustic guitar, which I'd never done before. So I got an acoustic guitar and sort of wrote some songs on it.
Okay, well, but we'd go off into the other room, and the idea was if we can't get some, if we can't get something together within half an hour, it's not really worth having.
Yeah, that was
it. It was all about spontaneity.
And it was, the fact we could just go and play, we didn't need to take a truck, a band,
That's right.
a coach. We sat in Lowell's flat and wrote, I don't know, it must be about 15, 20 songs really quickly. Some of which happened to be written at the same time as the Opposition did. I think probably the last 2 albums over that period. So some of them appear on Opposition albums in slightly different, much more kind of structured and less thrown together. Recorded, yeah. Marcus going, yeah, but it's a demo. It's a good demo, though. I just wanted to get out and play rather than sitting in the studio.
Sitting staring at a computer, and it was actually
And being able to write that afternoon and play it live.
Yeah.
We could just play live at this. We go and play some, little like Mean Fiddler or some small venues.
I mean, the only kind of live stuff I remember doing, when we supported Alison Moyet at one point, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had a residency at the Mean Fiddler.
Yeah, we did regular, didn't we?
With the Dear Janes.
Where else? Borderline. A couple of times. I do find them a bit terrifying. I get more nervous about playing in a room with 20 people.
The afternoon of a gig, we sort of get together,
write a song,
and play it at the gig.
with lyric sheets.
That's right, lyric sheets pinned to various places.
I'll be going, Lo, how did I play this bit? What happens here? I remember being on So tours, having to sort of ask him, what do I do in that bit then? Okay, this is what you played on the record.
Like that.
But it was quite good fun. I think it was, it was quite a. I think it was probably I needed to do that as after the whole kind of spending a year recording, and we recorded pretty much like we did the writing.
Sure, we probably did, mate. I can't remember. It is, it really is actually, yeah.
Also, we wanted to record the sort of people playing together, which we did some recording up in Newcastle, which is not on the album, which Lowell's found the tapes for.
I'm quite sure that most of it is us in High Level. It's just me and you. We did about 15, 16 songs.
Did we? I haven't got that.
Do you remember us driving up to Newcastle?
Oh!
In the middle of the night, fucking pouring with snow.
Yes!
And we stayed there for a weekend.
Lindisfarne
Studio, and we literally just worked constantly for 2 days.
I've got none of that. When we started, the guy went, I'll record, I'll do you first with the vocal, then I'll do. And we went, no, sit us in a room, because we don't want to do it like that. We want to do where we face each other and we'll play. And if we make a mistake, we'll just, it's not rocket science. Just rub it out and start again. And we'd go in and we'd just jam on the songs, and then we'd start recording in the afternoon for it. And then we'd have a break, and then we'd do an evening. In fact, it was in the middle of nowhere, so we did some things outside. I think that's one of the things about the Storyville album, though, is that the bits that are recorded with the band, which is me, Lowell, and David Beckett. I seem to remember Marcus did overdub these bass. I don't think he was there when we recorded them. We just set up in the old workshop, which was that it's the studio that we had. So one room was the main room for recording, where it wasn't that big, and then there's the mixing room. And because there was no spare person, I ran in, press record, and then run back in, and we just played it like a set. So in fact, it was when I was mastering the album, trying to separate the tracks was quite difficult. And in fact, if you listen to the album really closely, there's you hear sort of where I actually tried to break the tracks up by numbering them, because actually, how it's recorded, we literally ran, with me saying, does it look like there's much tape left? While we're all sitting in here looking through the window, going, there's enough tape for one more song, but we've got to be quick. And we did that. We did the whole thing in one day. All the sessions I've got are from, the basement one, Terry. The one at that guy at E's house, we did some at E's house. Remember? That guy was in for the project with Andy Longhurst. Remember they had that little room set up in there?
Oh right.
At Andy's. We went to that engineer's house.
Oh, Martin.
Yeah. And
Martin,
we did some recording, which is really good. It's quite good.
He's a great engineer.
Well, I think the Bed of Roses is that.
Right.
It's from that. Some of them were never really finished as well. That's the other thing. There's a song on it, I don't even know my own title, which is the one about Coca-Cola. Last night I touched her breast for the very first time. That song, I've never actually ever finished that lyric, because we wrote that and then we played it. I do remember us playing it that night. We wrote it in the afternoon, played it that night, and then I could never get another verse, because that was the end of the song, really. I wrote it and I went, I love that, let's play that tonight. And we started playing it in gigs, and then it sort of, it was like, that was it, it kind of was an entity, it was finished. And then I'd go back and try to rewrite another verse, and all the verse, it was like, it feels too long, and the verse doesn't work. I could never write another verse for it, so it's actually quite short, and it should have been kind of longer, really, and finished, so it's kind of an unfinished song. So.
It was very open, that was the whole thing,
It was quite a... And actually, funny enough, that was the other thing about Storyville, was I wanted to take lyrics from other songs, and that was the other thing. It was actually, it's quite interesting to say it, because one of the things we said when we started it, I quite liked lyrics to songs.
Then playing it to me without me hearing the original
version,
yeah, and then it would just go off into this completely different thing, and then
we did a Van Morrison song, we did a Frank Sinatra, we did Elvis Presley one.
That's right, we did Heartbreak Hotel, which again,
really good version, that one.
Yeah, that was really nice.
In Storyville, there's I do a Elvis Presley song, and when you take the lyric, it's a brilliant lyric, you know, and but the song has kind of almost become a thing, and it's a cabaret. You don't actually listen to the lyric, and one thing I wanted to do with Storyville was take some other people's lyrics and throw them in the song. So in War Cries, I used to do a bit of Tupelo Honey in the middle of it, or a bit of a Bruce Springsteen song in the middle of it, and we used to kind of throw that into songs, you know, because it was flexible enough. If I wanted to go off on one, Lowell would just kind of follow me. So actually, it's quite, because we did do covers, but we didn't do them in quite a straight kind of way. And in fact, the third track on this is a complete confession here. We're going to get our legs moved for this, but the third track is actually a Frank Sinatra lyric, or not Frank Sinatra, whoever wrote the song. It's on a Frank Sinatra album, and I stole the lyric pretty much completely. I have to say, I threw some other bits in, but so that third track is almost the cover version as well, but nobody knows it.
Right.
And but the what's it called? Thingy Town. Yeah, go on, help me here. Dirty Old Town is actually probably the first cover version that I did, almost a bit like the song, yeah, rather than, you know, in a completely different style.
What was the question you asked in the first place?
No, it was about exactly right. He's a great guitarist. It was really easy. I mean, it was after So he actually did, I think, 2 Opposition albums. He might have done 3 actually.
We used to come along. I mean, I was a fan basically. I used to come along to gigs with Julia. Julia kind of introduced me to it all, and I, you know, thought this band's all right.
All right.
Bit of all
So
right.
needs
This
a
band.
guitarist,
Hey, mate, he's a decent guitar player, obviously.
Guitar, he can play guitar. Does he play for your echo all the time?
But yeah, it was just a Lasman's Friday night thing, and there we were just having a jam in the back room, and someone put a guitar in my hand, and you know, we played for a bit, and then he said, "Oh, why don't you come down to the studio tomorrow and do an audition?"
Right.
You know. And
Will we audition?
yeah, it was.
Did we?
Well, it was just going down to the workshop,
Right.
and yeah, that was it really. I got the gig.
And he's really easy for me to work with him, because I always like working with a second guitarist because I'm a bit lazy. So, truth be known, yeah, I'd come up with a line and then go, "Oh, you play this." I can't sing and play that at the same time. And he used to come up with some really good. I mean, I think on the album his playing is brilliant. I think it's really good. And there are 1 or 2 bits that are sort of those goose pimply moments, I think. I think he's just got a really good feel for a song, which is not, he doesn't kind of plough through it. He sort of leaves some space and stuff. So I'm a big fan of Lowell's, actually. No, I'm a big fan. It kind of fizzled out, I think, because we started the Blinder album, which became, you know, a bit of an epic. And I think that I needed to write songs for that, some of which didn't work for, you know, were more band songs and didn't really work with acoustic guitar, and some, I don't know what happened. We never kind of, we really literally did fizzle out, I think. Where the Opposition sort of took over from it, and we never came back to it really until I found the tapes and played them and thought, I actually quite like that.
Absolutely.
Is it like necessary to say breast in a song or something?
That's right. Yeah.
But that's pretty good. It's a pretty good performance. We got that.
Yeah, it's not a bad performance. Apart from, God, I bought my old man's waistcoat, didn't I?
Did you?
Yeah. I look like it's like someone out of Chaz and Dave. You know what I mean? Really?
People make their own one, wouldn't they? Sent to.
This is unusual and different. This is Storyville, and they're a duo, and they're singing Better Than This.
Last night I touched her breasts for the very first time. She smelled of brewed and tasted like Coca-Cola. She put her tongue in my mouth. I thought that I would die like this. Oh, I wanna be the first time this ever happened to you. And if I pinch myself, then I'm calling you, calling you. Will it ever get better, be better than this? Oh, could it ever, would it ever get better, be better than this? Be the first time this ever happened to you. And if I pinch myself, then I'm calling you, calling you. Would it ever get better, be better than this? Oh, could it ever, would it ever get better, be better than this? Last night I touched her breasts for the very first time. She smelled of brewed and tasted like Coca-Cola. She put her tongue in my